Hi everybody. I just did an Instagram poll this morning asking you guys if you wanted to see my everyday makeup routine or something else, and 100% of you so far, a lot of people have voted and you all voted that you wanted to see it. So I just spent my time, I already did my makeup today and I just washed everything off, and I'm gonna do my makeup again for you and show you exactly what I would do if I wanted a quick, under 10 minute, but like you still want coverage and you wanna look like you put makeup on. This isn't a natural no makeup look, but it's what I typically wore when I worked at the spa. I wanted my skin to be glowing. I wanted it to look healthy. It wasn't like a full glam, intense eyeshadow look or anything like that. Just enough to where you feel like you look put together and you feel like your skin looks healthy. Like I said, that pretty much tends to be my focus, especially when I worked at the spa, because I focused so much on skincare that I wanted to present healthy looking skin all the time. So I definitely say it doesn't look like a heavy amount of makeup, but it's gonna be beautiful and really good coverage. So if you wanna keep watching, then that's what you're gonna see today. Okay, so to start, I have moisturized my face, done my whole skincare routine, moisturizing being the last step. You always wanna make sure that your skin is prepped and ready to go before you do your makeup. Everything's gonna go on smoother, less likely to have dry patches and things like that that could ruin your makeup and your foundation. So as you can see, my main problem areas are, I have some acne scarring right here. I have natural redness. I always, for some reason, have more on this side, but I have natural redness, some darkness around my eyes. My forehead isn't too bad, but for me, it just is kind of like uneven skin tone. My texture is pretty smooth, but it's just the discoloration is really my personal problem area. So this is kind of be focused more on, like I said, the healthy skin and making it appear that I don't have all of that hyperpigmentation. The foundation that I'm gonna be using today is actually from the drugstore. I mentioned that on my Insta story that I have been using a foundation that is new to me that I've heard really great things about. And so the one that I've been hearing about a lot recently is actually the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. I'll list every product that I use below. I probably won't go into depth of like naming and describing every product, but I'll definitely list everything below in the order that I use them. So the foundation that I'm using today is the Pro Glow. They make a Pro Matte one as well, but this one is really nice. It's not super full coverage, but I feel like you can build it up. So if you need more coverage, you can do, you know, 2 layers or even 3. I think if you needed to. It does have SPF 15, which is great. And it says it's for normal to dry skin, and then it's hydrating. I'm oily in the summer and normal in the winter, so I think this is gonna be, I think that's why I like it so much for the winter time when I'm like normal, just not oily. I personally like to have a dewy, healthy glow to my skin. But before I even put that on, the one thing that I like to do before I do anything is, I'm actually gonna put some lash primer on, which I know might seem weird, but I wanna make sure that this is like really dry. I do a really thin coat. For those of you who don't use lash primer, it might seem weird that I'm putting some white stuff on my eyelashes. This is just a Lancome one, but I'm gonna put a little bit on there. That way, when it's time for me to do my mascara, it's completely dry and it actually does a really good job of building up, not mixing with my mascara. Sometimes if you don't let your primer dry all the way, then it can just mix with your mascara and then you can end up getting clumps and you're not actually like building upon layers. I found that that's the most important thing when it comes to mascara, is making sure that each layer of product dries really well. So we're gonna let that go, and now we're going to start with my foundation. So I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit of that on the back of my hand. I'm in the color 202 Creamy Natural. It's a really nice, not super cool toned. It's actually pretty grayish yellow, which I really like for my skin tone. And I'm using a medium face SS035 contour brush from Crown Brush. And I'm going to just gently start in downward motions. I know that might seem like it's going against everything you've heard about for like aging. I'm not applying a bunch of pressure as I'm going down. The reason I personally like to apply my foundation in a downward and like outward motion is because I have peach fuzz on my face that I don't remove all the time. Sometimes I wax it, sometimes it's there. For the majority of the time it's there though. And if I were to buff up with the foundation, then it could actually catch on the hairs and accentuate them, which is not what I want. So I am gonna put a little bit, like I said, this is an everyday, so I'm gonna put a little bit there because I have a lot of veins, as you can see what that does just by me putting a little bit on there. And I'm doing like a really thin layer. The key for foundation for me is always to make sure that I'm blending it out really well. So I'm just applying a little bit, blending it out, kind of going area by area, you'll notice, so that I don't like to apply all my foundation on my face at once and then blend it all in, because I find that if you let it sit for too long, it can start to set and then it's harder to blend out. You can see that it's starting to really do a good job of covering that redness. I'm putting an extra layer down here on my chin where I have that hyperpigmentation, which is great. Like I said, you can really build this up after you blend down. This one matches really well to my neck, so I don't have to really worry about fading any lines or anything, but you can see that does a really good job. I haven't even touched my forehead yet. I'll put a little bit up here. So there, that is one layer of foundation with a second one just on the chin area, and you can see how that does such a good job of covering. You can see a tiny bit of redness, not much, and then most of that is covered up really well. So now that that is blended in, we're gonna go in with a little bit of concealer under the eyes. This is some Naked Skin concealer. I like to use like one side of the applicator under one eye and then the other side and the other. I do this like triangle motion here, which I'm sure you've all seen before. Sometimes I'll put a little bit down here, but that foundation honestly covered so much, so I really don't need that much. And then I'm actually gonna use my finger to blend this in. On myself, I like to use my finger because I feel like the warmth of my skin really helps to melt the product into any like fine lines or anything like that. The product just like melts into your skin. And mind you, I'm not tugging, I'm literally pressing, which is totally fine. And I'm using my ring finger, which is the weakest finger anyway, which is good. Sometimes I'll blend some of that on there just to help with the veining. But I'm literally pressing. I like to blend it up into this inner corner to get rid of any darkness. We'll add to that later as you. Perfect. So now we're blended in and I'm brighter. Now before this has a chance to set too much, I'm gonna go in with my RCMA Original No Color Powder with a setting brush from Real Techniques. I'm just gonna set under there. I always look up so that like everything is smooth. Again, I'm setting the product into my skin. And set your eyelids if you put some foundation or concealer there. And then down here as well. So that's good. That's the only places that I set because I'm pretty normal to dry in my other areas. And I've found this foundation, you don't have to set it too much. It does a really nice job of holding up even if I don't set it. I don't like to set too much on my face, just the areas where I will get really oily, because I don't want to put too much product on and make it start feeling heavy and then it can start to crease and everything. I just set where I absolutely need to. Now that we're done with that, we're gonna move on to some bronzer. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the Makeup Geek Bad Habit, which is the Warm Fair Tone contour powder from Makeup Geek. And I'm gonna take this, it's worn off now, but I think it's a contour brush from Real Techniques. And I'm just gonna barely dip it in because this stuff is really pigmented. And I'm just gonna lightly contour. I always go in, like kind of base it off my hairline and then move forward and move in, because it's easier to blend into the hairline than it is to blend if you like put too much product right here in the middle. So a little bit there. Same thing on the other side. Before I put more product in, I'll go in and add a slight bit to the sides of my nose, not tons. I'm not a huge nose contour person. I go on the sides of my head here. I really like to bronze up my forehead. Go a little bit down in the jawline. Like that. The other thing that I will do is I will grab a really big fluffy brush like this one. This is from Sonia Kashuk. And I'll take that same bronzer color and I'm gonna run it literally in big motions right through my crease. Same color. Not getting fancy with eyeshadow today. I'm actually doing an eye look without any eyeshadow today. I'm using all non-eyeshadow products. I love to run bronzer through my crease. It's like my secret to looking like defined and awake and like you've done something, and it literally takes 2 seconds. So that's good. You can even sharpen up the contour a little bit right there if you want, but that's it. Next, we're gonna do blush. We're gonna go in with, this is like a mega palette that I created with contour powders and blushes and stuff from Makeup Geek. But I'm gonna actually use, what's this color? Heart Throb by Makeup Geek. I like it because it's just a nice subtle flush, but it's kind of ruddy, like brownish. So I feel like it is not too bright. And I love blush. And I feel like this camera always tries to pick up my blush a lot heavier than it actually is on my face. So if it looks crazy, that's why. Okay, so now we got blush, and then we need some highlighter. So this is my favorite highlighting brush. It's a fan brush that's a little denser. It's supposed to be a blush brush. I've talked about it before. It came from a Tarte holiday palette. And I'm gonna take Midnight Sun by Makeup Geek, my favorite highlighter of all time, and pop that right on the cheekbones. More, you need Cupid's bow. Again, non-eyeshadow. I'm gonna put that right in there so that it is nice and highlighted. There, that can totally make you look awake like you tried. Those are the eyes, aside from mascara, which we'll do in a second, but like that's gonna be it. Okay, so we're done with the skin. I think it looks glowy, it looks rosy, it looks healthy, but it seriously was so quick. It's obviously a lot quicker when I'm not explaining everything that I'm doing here. So all we have left is brows and mascara. So let's do brows first. I'm gonna use L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper Tinted Gel Mascara. And in the areas where I wanna add more, like more sparse, I'm just gonna really buff it in there. I like to go backwards. Let me know if you want to see a like full brow routine where I talk about like how I grow out my brows, like just all my brow tips. That's definitely something I'm gonna do in the future, but I'm just accentuating that brow shape. Obviously, if you need more help in the brows, then you can fill in your brows more, but for me, every day, like, this is good enough. You can definitely see that I need to do my brows. I don't believe in tweezing brows in between waxes. Again, that's something I can go into in a full brow video, but there's a lot of benefits to only touching your brows when they get waxed. So letting them grow in between is really good for them. Helps them grow out. It's one of my tricks to helping people grow their brows out. So last up is mascara. Now I know some of you are probably like, wait, you're curling them and you already put stuff on them. But like I let those sit, so like this is not sticking at all. That's the problem. The problem is you don't ever want to put product on your eyelashes and then curl them, because then they can stick and it can pull, and that's really bad. But the product is completely dry, so you cannot, it's not sticking at all. I would not do it if it was even remotely trying to stick. I'm using L'Oreal Voluminous, a classic. I always do this with my mascara to help it not be clumpy. I like to brush all the excess into the tube so I can use it later. And then apply your mascara. I've been using the Lash Boost for a few weeks. I'm gonna be doing a whole post on that because it's actually helping me somewhere besides my lashes, but it is helping my lashes as well. For day to day, I don't like to put mascara on my bottom lashes just because my bottom lashes are really long and I feel like it's so easy for the mascara to transfer onto my skin that I just like don't feel like dealing with it every day. So I just like to put it on my top. I feel like it also helps my top lashes look way more dramatic because there's more contrast. So yeah, I'll do one more quick coat and then I'll meet you back here. So that's it. I'll then put my lip product on. Let's see if I have one here that I want to use today. I'm just gonna put a gloss on because I can't be bothered to do anything else. I'm using the It Cosmetics Je ne sais quoi Vitality Gloss that, because my lips are just chapped and upset, as you can probably see. And this one just feels really good on them. It's one of the pH changing ones that'll be different on everybody. So it'll start, you'll probably notice it'll start to turn a little bit pinker, and it makes your teeth look nice and white, so that's nice. So that's my everyday makeup. You can see I have some mascara up there, but if you let it dry, you can flick it off with a dry Q-tip. Fun fact. See? It's way easier to get off if you let it dry, and then it won't sear. Makeup trick, if you didn't know that. There, so now I'm all done for the day. If I do this every day, it probably takes me like under 10 minutes, but because I'm sitting here explaining everything to you, it takes longer. These are products that are tried and true for me that I really love. The technique, I mean, you can use whatever foundations and products that you want, but the technique is pretty similar. I mean, I'm going for healthy, glowy skin, really minimalized eye look. It's really nothing much, it's just some bronzer and some highlighter in certain points. Excessive mascara to make the lashes look nice. For me, I think some of the prettiest makeup is when your skin looks healthy, your lashes and your brows look nice. It's almost like it's like I woke up like this makeup look, so it's not super dramatic or anything. It just looks like you take care of your skin and you've got healthy lashes and brows. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions, my next video is probably going to be that brow video, so I can divulge some of my brow secrets. Let me know if you have any other suggestions and how you're liking these videos. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like, so that you can be notified when I post new videos. But I'm really liking this. I think it's fun to be able to talk to you guys and really show you and do the demos to show you how I do my makeup. So let me know what you want to see next, and like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.